of Commissioners regular meeting for the month of August, Tuesday, August 20th, 2024 at 6 p.m. at the Alamo City Hall, 420 North Tower Road, Alamo, Texas, 78516. We will now call this meeting to order. We'll go to item A, the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Bobby, can you lead us, please?
Yes, sir. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please stay standing for the invocation. Pastor Toto.
Lord Jesus, we come before you tonight, thank you for the freedom and the tranquility that we have here in Alamo. And Lord, we just ask that you'll bless our leaders and that you will give them supernatural guidance in all these decisions that they have to make. And Lord, we just ask your blessing on our children, that the children and youth will grow up proud of their city and will not be leaving to run away, but this will be their home. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Toto. We'll go to item C, presentations and announcements. Bobby, Alex, do you guys have anything?
Chief, good job on the National Night Out. You guys did an awesome job for the community. Good job.
Anyone else? Presentations, announcements?
I just want to mention that we are going to have a food drive tomorrow morning. I believe it's at 9, at 8:30 at the Alamo Sport Complex.
Okay, thank you. We'll go to item D, consideration and action to approve the minutes for a regular meeting on August 6, 2024.
Motion to approve. Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. We'll go to item E, consideration and action to approve the minutes for a special meeting on August 7th of 2024.
To approve. Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. We'll go to item F, consideration and action to approve a resolution to designate authorized signatures for the Community Development Block Grant Resilient Communities Program for the GLO State Contract Number 23-160-019-E455.
Yes, Mayor, Commission, this is to allow for yourself, Mayor, me, Alex, to be signatories with anything in dealing with this grant that we received in order for the City of Alamo to have a master comprehensive plan.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. We'll go to item G, consideration and action to approve a resolution regarding civil rights, which includes the following policies: Citizen Participation Plan and Grievances Procedures, Section 3, Policy Excessive Force Policy, Limited English Proficiency, Standards Plan, Section 504, Policy and Grievance Procedures, Code of Conduct Policy.
Yes, Mayor, this resolution goes along with the CDBG, GLO, RCP grant.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. We'll go to item H, consideration and action to approve a resolution regarding the municipal maintenance agreement between the City of Alamo and the Texas Department of Transportation.
Yes, Mayor, the resolution is required by TxDOT in order for us to submit the municipal maintenance agreement to them. So we brought this item back just specifically for that.
Motion to approve.
Yes, sir.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. We'll go to item I, discussion and consider proposed tax rate for the City of Alamo for fiscal year beginning October 1, 2024 through September 30th, 2025.
Yes, Mayor, the City Commission must consider a proposed tax rate that will support the city budget. Last year, the rate adopted was .5801 per $100 valuation. In order to support the proposed budget, it is recommended that the city propose a tax rate of .6022 per $100 valuation. Senate Bill 2 requires one public hearing notice. The publication for the public hearing will be on August 28th, 2024, in the Advance News Journal. Staff is proposing to hold the hearing and adopt the tax rate on September 17th, 2024. We do note that a roll call is required for this particular item, so we normally do commissioner by commissioner and take a roll call for each vote. So the recommendation would be to approve the proposed tax rate of 0.6022 per $100 valuation.
So does there need to be a motion, or just by our vote? That's the motion, kind of, or?
That would be the motion, I guess. That would be the proposal. If you're for if you're
Just a vote?
A vote to approve the
0.6022.
602, and that would have to be individually by everybody.
I, Commissioner Roelio Moron Jr., approve 0.6022 per $100 valuation.
Do I vote by raising my hand?
You vote for it?
Yeah, I vote for it.
Okay.
AJ
Garcia, Commissioner, plays for. I vote aye, yes.
I, Commissioner Pete Morales, approve the proposed tax rate of 0.6022.
Mayor J.R. Garza, in agreement?
Is that everybody? All right, thank you.
Next item.
Do we need a motion, or can I go to the next item?
You would go to the next item.
All right, we'll go to item J, consideration and action to approve an interlocal agreement between the TML IRP and the City of Alamo for a cyber liability and data breach response fund.
Good afternoon, Mayor. Good afternoon, Commissioner.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing today?
Afternoon.
Yes, sir. Mayor, this agreement, this interlocal agreement will be provide additional coverages for the liabilities for the damages possibly caused by cybersecurity breaches. This will benefit the city in any case cybersecurity are committed against the city. This agreement would also allow the city to become a member of this particular fund. The cost would only be an additional $1,000.76 annually. Staff's recommendation for approval, sir.
So we have something in place already, though, right? This is just an addition.
Actually, there's something in place that TMLRP has right now, but that's going away if we don't agree to this agreement. There's a separate fund that's been obviously assigned right now by TMLRP because of cyber crimes, obviously on the rise as of lately.
Has the city had any issues with this? That you know of? Or?
We don't have any issues
knock on
right
wood.
now, but again, we're being proactive in
Yeah.
being from the risk management side. We want to make sure that moving forward, we have some kind of liabilities in place.
So in your opinion, are we better than the Social Security office that got hacked?
To answer your question, I want to say yes, we are.
That's right, there you go.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve.
I
Second.
second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
We'll go to item K, consideration and action on repairs regarding the demolition and installation of a new HVAC ductwork, ceiling insulation, and new ceiling tiles for the Sergeant Fernando de la Rosa Memorial Library. Ms. Adela,
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners.
good evening.
Demolition of affected ceiling insulation, new HV wrap, rewrapping of ductwork, new ceiling insulation, and new tiles is in the scope of services. Units that are affected will be removed to properly install liners on the first 5 feet of the supply and return plenums due to condensation buildup. Staff recommends approval.
This is an issue that we had here. How has it worked out here at City Hall?
It's,
worked?
yes,
fixed it?
it's worked out great.
Have we worked on like I had asked the other day about making sure that everybody's on the same scope of work? Because have you seen these quotes? There's one that's like a $40,000 different, like, if everybody's on the same scope, it's just kind of,
Yeah.
how we're getting a $40,000
Some
difference.
companies really just charge that much to do the same exact thing.
Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure that we continue to work on making sure that the scope is
It's the same.
for everybody.
Yes,
that's-
yeah, absolutely.
I
Make a motion, make a motion to award to SKO Elite,
Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go to item L, consideration and action to amend the current health fitness section of the Alamo Police Department Rules and Regulations as required by the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement, TCLO.
Good afternoon,
Chief.
Mayor and Commission.
Good afternoon.
The policy is just a state policy that needs to be amended before September 1st. The purpose of the policy is to ensure that all members of the agency remain medically and psychologically fit for duty and able to perform their essential job functions.
So when we talk about medically and physiologically, do we send them, do our officers get sent for,
Before they get hired, yes.
just before they get hired? We don't-
Psychologically and medically.
Yeah,
yes.
there's nothing that requires, nothing at the state level that requires them on a yearly basis or on a.
No,
No.
that is something, that's why I brought it up, for like an agility and stuff like that for the next budget, hopefully.
Yeah, but
we
the,
have
you know, the psychologically part also.
It's required by the state on an L2 and L3 form, but when they begin the tour of duty, which would, by the agency.
Okay. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. We'll go to item M, consideration and action to adopt the small unmanned aircraft system drone policy for the Alamo Police Department.
Just a policy, Mayor and Commission, that we're adopting to have policy for the drones that we have right now. We do have 2 right now, which there will be more coming in to play. There will be policies along the commission meetings that we have that we're gonna bring into, which is the K-9. Different policies that are not into play now that need to be into play so we can, liability purposes.
How many drone pilots do you have?
We have 3 right now and 3 go to school the middle of September. Yes.
Are you gonna,
Motion to approve.
I have one question. I know that there was, I believe with IT, there was a drone. Is that something that you can possibly look into transferring to PD if it's not in use, or? Okay, just wanted to bring that up.
Yes, sir.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Bobby, on this one,
Yes, sir.
well, that's right, but, when it rains, are we still, taking a drone over there to the irrigation, ditch just to see how the waters are? if it's the
To
water's
see
coming-
where it floods.
Correct.
We'll either do a physical drive-by, or if needed, we do the drone flyover.
Hmm.
We have the ability to do it.
I'm kind of curious to see how it looks after a big rain. Is there any way maybe we can have somebody go out there, just maybe do a mile or something, or half a mile, just to see the improvements that the,
You're talking about along the Alamo drain, the
Yes, sir.
north-south.
yes, sir, yeah.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
I guess before we move, just another question, Chief, on that drone, is it just for police activities, or is it?
We can use it whatever.
If you're available, if you have an officer available,
So we can take your footage and then just send it out, email or whatever.
it's not just for police, active,
We
okay,
can use it for whatever you want.
thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you, Chief. We'll go to item N, discussion and possible action to appoint or reappoint a member to the Planning and Zoning Commission due to expiring membership term. Mr. Zavala.
Yes, good afternoon. In regard to this particular item, we noticed that one of our members, Ms. Nelly Medina, her membership is coming up in about a month or so. She was appointed really about a year ago, August 15, 2023. That's when Gabby Hernandez was appointed to the EDC, and she took over. So her membership expires in September in about 4 weeks or so. So I bring this to your attention, if you will. We did call Ms. Medina, see if she's receptive, like we typically do. We call her on August 13th, and she is receptive in serving a new PNC term. The tenure of PNC, as you know, is for 3 years. So the membership, if reappointed, would be September 18th, 2027. Or you can appoint someone
Mr.
else.
Zavala, was this the only one that was about to expire? There's not anybody on the same?
I check, I keep pretty good track. This is the only one. There's another one, but it won't be till December.
I make a motion to approve Nelly Medina to be reappointed.
Second?
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. We'll go to item O, discussion and possible action to amend Title IV Public Health and Safety, Chapter 4, Nuisances, Section 4-4-3, Unwholesome Matter, Stagnant Water. Fifth, carry on to clarify the ordained boundaries to abate public nuisances.
Yes, thank you. Nina, can you put item O, please? This matter really came to my attention in regard to section 443-3, where it raised concerns about the current verbiage. It was a matter of a public works official with Rosie, our code enforcement officer, and she indicated that's kind of muddled verbiage. What do I mean? This is what it currently says. As we talk about lots, if you will, weedy lots, what are their boundaries? What should they maintain, if you will? Such lots or parcels of real estate, in addition to the grounds within their respective boundaries, shall be held to include all lots or parcels of real estate to the center lines of adjacent or abutting street or alleys. That's what it currently says. Got to read it a couple of times to understand it, but when it goes to the center line of the streets or alleys, it almost implies to the center of the street, there's a pavement section to the center of the street. If you're going to go to the extremes, are they responsible for potholes that go in there? Of course, the answer is no. So what I did is I went ahead and see what I could do to kind of simplify it. Sorry, I know it's a lot, but it really makes it a lot easier to read. What's in yellow is actually what the current verbiage, what the proposed verbiage would be. The strike-throughs is words or terms or phrases that would be deleted. In a nutshell, this is what the new ordinance would do. It would describe that the legal boundaries of the recorded lot or parcels or tracts of real estate property. That's what would be required. Of course, the recorded lot. Also, what else? The area that extends beyond the recorded property lines up to the street curb or the edge of pavement. And when I refer to street, I'm also referring to private streets. And that's in the ordinance, draft ordinance. What other areas? The area that extends beyond the recorded property lines up to the center line of abutting public alleys. What we mean by public alleys, it also means recorded alleys, prescriptive alleys, or apparent publicly used alleys in effect. And the other component that was injected in the draft ordinance is this, just in case a catch-all. If there is any area that may be a unique hybrid of the above three criterions or of similar circumstances where the stewardship to maintain it is questioned, such shall be presented to the city manager for assessment and final determination. There is no appeal from the city manager's decision on the matter. That's like 0.1% that happens, but I had to put it in there so that it's a catch-all, just in case you're not a lot, you're not an acre, there's something else in there. But I presented this to our code enforcement office, and I presented this to Alex de la Rosa as well as Streets, because he's the hands-on fellow as well. And there were some minor adjustments as far as, well, who should it apply to? And one of the things that we added in there actually is, let me see, let me turn this page here. It would be the, it would be like the property owner, that the tenant or whoever has legal stewardship or authority on the property is also responsible to maintain it. Just in case the owner's in California and the guy says, I'm not the owner, sorry, but you are the tenant, you are the authorized resident, that you're responsible for it as well. This is an amendment that would simplify things, although it may seem extensive, but it's easy to read as well. This is our recommendation.
I motion to approve the amendment to Title 4, Chapter 4, Section 3.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. We'll go to item P, discussion and possible action on an ordinance to amend Title 11 Subdivision Regulations, Chapter 4, Administration and Enforcement 1, Section 11-4-2, variances to establish an administrative fee to process subdivision plat variances.
Yes. Nina, can you put item P, please? In a subdivision that we review, we have a set of rules and laws that mostly everybody abides by. Occasionally, we do get a developer or engineer that wants to move forward and request a variance. At this point, it does take a particular amount of service of time for planning to research, was it done before? If so, when? Get the minutes, and we develop this report, if you will, for the P&Z and subsequently the City Commission. At this point, for that particular service, to apply for, consider, assess, site visit, talk to other cities, that's a free service for the City of Alamo. This is what other cities do. In Harlingen, I talked to Javier Cervantes in their own charter. This is in their, it's $25. However, in Mission, it's 150, Alton, 450. San Juan doesn't have a fee yet. FAR is 750, and Edinburgh is 450 to apply for any variance to their subdivision codes. In taking a couple of steps back and assessing of what is fair, because it's all over the map as far as the fees go. And ultimately, what it comes down to is time. How much of my time, of the city planning department's time, will it take to assess, to deliberate, to ponder, to site visit, to cross-reference? How much time does it take? Because not all variances are alike. Some are just common sense, some are locked in. Not long ago, we saw Nebraska Gardens. I believe there was a school to the north side and two subdivisions against the Housing Authority to the east and another one developed to the west. And his cul-de-sac is one way in and one way out, which violates the 1,000-foot run of a street. He has no choice. He was boxed in. He has to request a variance. That would be what I would call a type A variance. It takes me like 5 seconds to determine that, he has to get it. There is a hybrid. You may remember the cul-de-sac at the end and then a turnaround knuckle in the middle of the street to compensate for no outlet. And some other ones are more challenging, moderate, and just in case there's an extreme one that will be pretty intensive to research and prepare a variance report, sometimes being multi-pages, then that should be the highest cost. So in our assessment, a type A variance, which is a minor one, is just $50, which I think is reasonable. A type B, which is a moderate research, if you will, would be 150. And a type C, just in case that rare one comes along, they would pay $250. We believe that that's a fair assessment of our time to research and prepare those instruments, present it to the P&Z, and represent it again to the City Commission. This is our recommendation.
So those other ones that you referenced up on top, it doesn't matter whether, that it's just as long as that they ask for a variance, those are the prices that they have to pay? Or do they have a kind of a breakdown also too?
For example, let's take Alton. They have one fee for any variance. It's one fee, one flat fee. It may take them 10 seconds, 450. It may take them hours, it's 450. The same thing with FAR over here as well. San Juan, when I talked to the former planning director, they were working on there's some standards manual, and they were going to incorporate some fees there as well. So they're mulling it over, I suspect. But typically, if there's a service, there should be a fee. That fee should be paid by the developer and or their agent, and the taxpayers don't need to absorb it.
Mr. Sola, does it have to, is there like a minimum of how many lots that, let's say if they were gonna research 2 lots, instead of like a whole subdivision or something, whatever, like, these fees will still be applied for the developer or no?
If there's a variance to the subdivision code, if it's one variance, that would be that one fee, correct?
Okay. A motion
But
to,
whether it's 2 lots or 150 lots,
Mm.
if there's any issue of variance, and some may make sense, and those may be easy, and I'm not here to overcompensate the city for what's not warranted. I just want it to be fair and just for both sides, the city and the developer as well. I can tell pretty quickly how much time it'll take.
I guess what Commissioner Morales is pointing at is, like you had mentioned, if it was 100 versus two lots and a little subdivision, right? If there was gonna be any chance to increase the amount, is that what you're asking?
No,
Well, just saying like the amounts that we have, it's, I mean, you're gonna have one that's gonna be developing 40 lots or 50 lots versus 2, it's gonna still be the same.
correct.
Yeah.
The perspective that we see it is that we have a city law, we get it by ordinance from the powers that be, that's the city commission.
I think.
And as much as possible, they need to meet that code. The way I see it is, why can't you meet code when everybody else does? And that's what backs them off, and they kind of relent. They know where that's going.
I think what I would like to see maybe for me, on my opinion, is to have one fee. And instead of being sitting there, well, no, this is minor, no, that's moderate, no, I'd like to have one fee, and then maybe if you know that you can do it within the matter of, 5 minutes, then maybe there's not a fee. But you know, instead of sitting there and saying, well, this was a moderate one, no, this was a minor one, this was an intense one, like, do you think it might be better to set one fee, or?
Well, I've pondered that, obviously. I've thought about that. If there is one fee, what is the fee where the taxpayers won't lose out?
Yeah.
And it's not gonna be $50.
Yeah.
It'll be more like 300, I think would be fair.
And that's where, but, you know, maybe that taxpayer that you know that you can take care of them just before they leave here out of your office, then maybe there's not a fee. I don't know if that's something that might.
I usually try to convince them to meet code. So that way they won't have to be seeking variance, because once you award a variance, it sets the tone for others as well. You open the door up. If circumstances are unique that it should, that's one thing, but if it's because I just want it, that's something else.
Yeah.
I believe your recommendation's fair. In evaluating the other cities, I see that there was one, I'm not sure if it was FAR or Edinburgh, $750?
Correct.
Was that FAR?
Far, yeah.
FAR?
Yeah, I guess because they're an all-American city. I don't know what's going on.
That's what they like to say.
I'm sure what I know is gonna make a motion.
I think I have a motion on the table.
I just have
Second.
one question. I'm so sorry. Is this on a per variance basis?
For variance.
Okay, so there is a chance that some subdivisions will have multiple variances, which means multiple fees being paid on the same subdivision. So just making it clear.
Second.
Okay, I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. We'll go to item Q, consideration and action to approve Taco Bell incentive at 812 North Alamo Road to waive permit and related fees. Mr. Trevino.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, City Commission staff. Taco Bell has sent incentive to the EDC. We gave them 2 incentives. We gave them a job creation grant in the amount of $1,500 per full-time employees they'll hire within the first 30 days. They sent another incentive. They'll be demolishing the old Muelle 37 headquarters and the building next to it. It was a $35,000 quote. We assisted with $15,000. That, as you can see, if you have the incentive package, it's pretty lengthy. After talking to the city manager, I think it will be fair and feasible to assist them only with construction permit fees, excluding all utility fees. So they still have to pay for the sewer connection and the water connection and the water meters. So I'm strongly recommending that we assist them on waiving just the construction fees.
Does it come with free tacos or?
Just a cup of cheese and the chips, sir. No, their investment, if you look at the package, it's right over around $2 million, so I think it's fair, helping them out.
It's very fair.
And in regards to sales tax, Mr. Trevino, what are we looking at more or less?
They're looking about $1.5 to $2 million the first year, so if you do that at 8%, you're looking about $160,000
For the city?
in general, but we only get 25% of that.
Right.
So that'll be an additional $40,000, which will be $30,000 for the city, $10,000 for EDC for the first year, if it's $2 million.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed,
Quiero Taco Bell.
motion carries. We'll go to item R, discussion and action to approve payment number 1 on the Chapter 380 agreement between the City of Alamo and 533 Properties LLC.
Yes, in reference to Properties 533 Properties LLC, that's the legal name, but that's in reference to the Dutch Bros. They're next to Freedom Bank. We just approved payment number 1 at the EDC. This is the city's share. First payment is in the amount of $15,000. Once they meet the first year conditions, they will forward an invoice to Bobby's office for payment.
A motion to approve.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. We'll go to item S, presentation and update on project management for fiscal year 2023, 2024.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, as per instructions, we're doing our monthly report for the mayor, the city commission, and staff and our citizens. We do have an update on the community grants. You'll see it on that, but pending federal, the cost was approved. The SAFER grant, we should know in September. And then the EPA engineering report, which is also was another grant that was awarded a couple years ago. The 30% of that report has been concluded, and a brief presentation has been made already to the city manager's office. I just mentioned, I was in DC 2 weeks ago with my kiddo. I was able to visit Monica and Vicente's office. Our project, which was one of 6 from Monica's office, went to the subcommittee. Unfortunately, only 3 made it out. We're very fortunate that the subcommittee approved $2.45 million. Out of the 6 projects that Monica had, 3 made it. And they all had the same equation, 70% of the projects. That's how much every project got. Whatever was there, we got 70%. So, well, hold on. This is just a recommendation approval to the appropriations, but it's all looking good. So, si Dios quiere, we're looking almost about $2.5 million, and hopefully we'll hear by the end of September.
Mr. Trevino, when does it go to the Appropriations Committee?
Because there will be no committees like I mentioned, I was there. There's no committee actions in August till September. So we're hoping by the end of September we'll get some good news.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. As you all know, we try to double dip the feds, since we haven't been getting much lately. So we try to get 1.65. It didn't make the short list for Vicente, but it's shelved. And in March 2025, there'll be another chance to resubmit new projects. So right now, we'll probably be resubmitting this project or partly the project for the lift station to be determined. As mentioned earlier, we still have this pending grant for we did one last year. We resubmitted again for 3 firefighters. The good thing about this grant, if it's granted, there's no match. So the city will be saving $656,000 for the next 3 years to get 3 firefighters. And those FEMA awards usually come no later than the end of September in order to budget for the new fiscal year. We also applied for another grant for the fire prevention and safety grant. As you can see, there's 3 different projects we applied for. The total grant was $137,000. This does have a match. It's 25%. So if awarded by the end of September, our match would only be $6,800. And this is all for education purposes. The EPA project, water plant renovations, as mentioned earlier, we did have a presentation at the city mayor's office. The mayor was able to attend. They gave us a presentation on the 30% complete report. And I believe there'll be a workshop or a follow-up meeting, so the mayor and the city council will all know exactly what the report stated. Now in reference to the other capital projects, the Tower Road project, I forgot to update that one. That one has been complete. As you know, they were doing some work here in the corner. The Glow Drainage project, that one's, Ronnie, can you help me out there on that Glow project?
Well, we're still waiting for the final we already submitted all the final plans and final documents. We're just waiting for approval from Grant Works, and they're waiting from GLO. I don't know if you've heard anything else, Bobby.
No, not.
As of you know, the sewer plant project, you just got a complete report at 5:30. Next slide. Yeah. The fire station renovation, that has been tabled. As you all know, you all selected and appointed a new fire chief. We want to make it fair for him to review the plans, since he will be working out of that station. And then we'll get back with the architect to continue that project. The Irving County street improvements is almost complete. Spoke to Julio today. They just need a little piece on Nebraska Road, and it's on schedule. And then Precinct 2, as you all know, the Ridge Road Street project has been complete, which was from Tower to Border on Ridge. Bonita State Sewer, that's still, that has been completed. I know that they are in compliance and still hooking up as per your city ordinance. The Morning Southside Sewer, that construction has been underway and should be on schedule. And the Texas Alamo Road drainage project, which we had to wait for the engineering. Texas was going to take care of the construction costs. Spoke to Ronnie this morning. Are we waiting still from the Austin office for the approval and the permit so we can start, so they can start construction? Ronnie, didn't you tell me something was going on there?
Which
this
one?
morning or on Alamo Road? And
Yeah, we have actually yesterday, in the morning, they probed those gas lines. So we got the depths now, so we're gonna finalize everything. We already finalized everything, turned everything into TxDOT, the H&H study, the final plans, but now we can actually finalize them with that gas line, the depth. We're gonna have some issues with it because it's not as deep as we were hoping, but we'll get something done. real quick, then submit the final stuff, so then we put the burden on TechStop to, okay, we're ready to go.
You know, there's been a
Bobby.
project that's been,
We'll see if we can set a meeting up soon with our state representative, so he can know that, he knows that what Ronnie and your staff has done with that report. So he knows exactly where we stand of what we've done as a city for that, so he can hopefully help us with tech stuff. And like the meeting that we had maybe about a year and a half ago.
Yes.
So that everybody knows where we're at on our part as a city.
Okay.
you know, that project's been staggering for a while, but I don't know, what, 6 months ago, Mayor Bobby, when we went to Pete Alvarez's office, and finally things are started moving, and we're almost there, according to Ron, and we're just waiting for the text. And of course, if we call Mondo, hopefully he'll do a little push to get that permit released. Back one, Nina. I guess Gato Park, I sent an email this morning. I'm hoping we should get some good news by the end of the month. Any updates on the welcome sign, Mrs. Rangel?
No.
Okay. Next slide. On the grants, they're pending. Hopefully by the end of September, we should know. They're all still active. I mean, we're all still in the ballgame. None have been denied yet. So we have those 5 for a total of 262.
That one's good.
And then the next slide, we already got awarded the Operation Lone Star for 125, well, the Stone Garden for 125,000. So we're hoping at least we can get $300,000-$400,000 once by the end of this fiscal year to address all those grant opportunities. The Valley Baptist grant, I'm a little disappointed. We had to resubmit it for the tennis courts in the half mile. We received another letter, the second letter we get, that we were not awarded. I don't like to give up on projects, but since we have a very, very strong project with the Alanese renovation project, the next LOI will be due September 20th. I'd rather get some monies for the Alanese Park and offset the matching from the EDC and the city. That will be, the LOI is September 20th, and the grant is due November 1st. So I spoke to Barbara, we're changing ships on that one. Hopefully we can get some money for that project. In reference to the lift station, as you all know, that Mr. Javier Garcia and Rick had submitted a PIF. According to Javier, we met with him a couple of weeks ago. They had asked for some comments. They resent the comments. Hopefully we can score higher. But regardless, right now I'm working with the city manager's office preparing a strategic funding plan for possible funding this coming legislative session, which starts in January and ends at the end of May, or get some monies from Washington that will be submitted in March through Monica's office or Vicente's office. Hopefully we can get $1 million, $1.5 million to help us with the lift station. The 5-year plan is underway. I'm wrapping up some documents and attachments, and hopefully talk to Bobby and hold a workshop in September. In reference to the financial advisor and our current debt service, we met with him a couple of times, just to let us know exactly where we're at. And the last slide, as you all know, we had met with AEP. I can tell you that the engine phase does take a while. We'll keep on reaching out to them, Lucio, because Lee Jones has retired, see where we're at, so we can start working on those light improvements. And that's on the next agenda. If you have any questions, I'm here. If not, we'll go to the next agenda item.
I'm fine. I don't.
Good?
Shadow, I know that that grant, we've been trying to look for the last 2 years, I guess, going on 2 years now on that. Do we maybe need to have a meeting, I guess, some sort of meeting maybe with our state legislators to see what we can do, like, I guess, to help us with this project?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I met with the mayor and the mayor pro tem today in reference to that. So what we're going to do is we're going to be submitting a rider. Usually, I've been very successful before, helping smaller communities with $1 million. We should be better because we're bigger, and bring that project back. The tennis courts, well, it'll be the Alamo Sports Park. So we do the tennis courts and the walking trail. You're looking at about $600,000. And then under the mayor's instructions, Bobby and I had met with some turf guys. So the big vision is just a recommendation right now will be try to put $1 million, all grant, 100% funded, and do 2 turf fields at Alamo Sports Park, plus the 4 tennis courts and the walking trail, which will be literally a home run for the community. That's what we're working on.
Okay.
I already have a sample writer. We just have to, I'll work with Charlie just to get a little layout, how the project will look like, and get ready for January, and hopefully get funded by the end of May.
Any questions? Everyone good?
We're good.
All right, we'll go to item T, presentation and update on street projects for fiscal year 2023, 2024.
Now, can you go back to the presentation? It was the next slide. Just put it all in one, on one file. There we go. I know that the mayor pro tem has been asking for this update, but finally I was able to get it for him. For fiscal year 2023 street projects update, we all see you on Facebook. Y'all been keeping busy. I'm just trying to put it in perspective and kind of detail it a little out. So as you all know, at the end of this last calendar year, we wrapped up the, I'll start from the bottom, the $850,000 CD-ADC partnership on Tower Road, which they just finished the construction of the concrete. But this year we did $265,000 in Urban County funds, and I'll mention the numerous streets. We did $150,000 straight from your city funds, and we had a $50,000 MOU with the county for Ridge Road from Tower to Border. Next slide. On the 265, this is a breakdown. Ebony Avenue from 6th to Tower, 5th and a half Street from Duranta to Ebony, 6th Street from Austin to Ellis, 7th and a half Street from Duranta to Frontage, 8th Street from Duranta to Frontage, 9th Street from Duranta to Frontage. There's a continuation of the streets. Next slide. 9 and a half Street from Duranta to Frontage, 10th Street, Duranta to Frontage, 10th Street, Linda Gill Subdivision, 10 and a half Street from Duranta to Frontage Road, Austin Street from Tower to 7th, and Bowie Street from Tower to 7th Street. Next slide, please. The last street on the Urban County is Nebraska Street. I spoke to Julio earlier. That started a quarter mile east of Cesar Chavez all the way to Tower Road. According to Julio this morning, he only has a small section in order to be 100% complete. You also invested $150,000 from the general fund. You did Pondview Street from Business 83 to Crockett. You also did Country Club Drive. You also did some improvements on Acacia Street. And on Border Road, you all did Duranta to Business 83, which is a big improvement, because when I go to West, like, oh, wow, it was bad. Now it's great. I've got to watch my speed limit. Next slide, please. Another one, as you all know, smart cities always try to do MOUs with cities to maximize their funding. You all only paid $50,000 via the city manager's office, and you all did Ridge Road from Tower to Border. You get Chulada striped and everything, so that was a great investment in behalf of the city. The next slide. As you all know, we have partnered up with EDC for $850,000, and that took care of Tower Road from Furnace to Business 83, and who also, I had forgotten about that, who also reminded me that it also took care of frontage to Hackberry.
I believe that project also included some water line installations along the frontage road.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Now, that's just words and text. So I spoke to Leah and Nina today. We have a little presentation to see what's behind the scenes. Can you please put the videos, ladies? This is just what you see on text, but let's go behind the scenes and see how all this got done.
Can we get the lights? Mr. Trevino, can you get the lights?
Got it.
Audio, but we just want to make sure we all how work that goes into
We do get a lot of compliments in regards to the overlay projects that we do, and this is coming from our county commissioners' offices, and they're surprised at the amount of work that we're able to do just, locally, just our guys, and in-house. We actually save a lot of money doing it this route, and of course I want to thank Julio for all the hard work that him and his guys do, so.
Is there any way to get that volume?
I don't know what's going on there.
Do they know that you can't hear the volume? Maybe it's only the people seeing it online.
They just put one on Facebook last week. I wanted to show that one because that's a drone from a drone.
Can they replay it with volume? Can they replay it?
That's the one from the drone. This is the first I view what the guys do every day.
That's Nebraska.
So that's the Nebraska that I just mentioned earlier. They're almost done there too.
Oh, okay.
But well, what I thought today, just to make it fair, because as you know, we have a lot of departments in the city and everybody's always doing the best. So at the end of every presentation that I do every month, we'll be highlighting a department. So there'll be more appreciation from our community and understand what everybody's doing. Sometimes there's just, what's the word I'm looking for? They're just at the perspective that they only do so much, but actually there's other services that they'll provide. Like example, Parks has a lot of services. And City Hall, they also do a lot of service. So we just want to showcase a department per month so they can at least be appreciated for all the hard work they do. And that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Trevino.
Thank you, Mr. Trevino. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Trevino, for that update. That was super awesome, and I take so much pride in our staff. Thank you, Julio.
As per the Mayor Pro Tem called me earlier, at the next presentation, he just wants me to put a layout of the streets we've done the 5 years. In quote, I think Bobby already has something, just to show all the streets we've been doing in the last 4 or 5 years. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now go to item U, presentation of departmental reports. You guys have them in your packets. Any questions?
No, Mayor.
Okay, we'll go to citizen participation, 5 minutes per person with no response from the city commission. Residents must sign up prior to the city meeting. We have no one that signed up today. We'll go to adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, second.
I have a first and a second. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.